All right, guys. I know it's been long. I've, uploaded a video. It's been a while. Yeah. So, how you doing? How is everything? And for those of you that don't miss me, anyways, that's life. Let's move on. When you come to the UK as an immigrant, you are filled with so many expectations. You're thinking, okay, when I come to this country, I start working, I'm able to save. And when I'm able to save, I'm able to invest, you know, then later on, if possible, go into real estate in my home country, buy properties, do different kind of investment. But all this becomes a dream when you finally get here. You start working and you start looking that is there any way I've missed it? How come I cannot even save money? I mean, you work for a whole year and maybe you're just able to save just £500. All these make you look weary. I mean, let's look at it. It has happened to me before. 1 minute I'm okay, I feel safe because I just received my salary, of course. But the next minute I'm broke. In fact, I could remember a particular time where I was broke to the extent that I had just about £40 in my account. I mean, when you check all my accounts, I only had £40 remaining, literally. And this £40 was given to me as a gift from a friend. So I've been there, I've done that. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with us 5 ways you can cut expenses and save money as an immigrant in this UK. If you think this video relates to you, watch it to the end. And please try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel. What I'm giving to you is for free. Now, the first thing you need to do here is to reduce your rent. When we look at the UK as a whole, what really kills immigrants in this country financially is their rent. Most immigrants want to replicate the kind of life they used to live back in their home country. The scenario is where and when you were living in your home country, probably you used to stay in a two-bedroom, you and your wife and kids. Then you now move to the UK and you are insisting you still want to stay in that two-bedroom. This is what is killing many couples. You need to reduce your rent because over 80% of your bills in this UK is on rent. Let's look at it. So we have rent, we have council tax, we have water bill, we have uh, about 3 or 4 bills that you pay. So let's say, for example, now your house rent is £1,200. By the time you pay all the bills to maintain or live well in your apartment, they might sum up to 1,600 or 1,700. 700. But if there's a way you can do it that instead of paying about 1,700 as your rent, you're able to pay about 1,003, 1,002. It goes a long way. You have to be ready to inconvenience yourself if you really, really want to cut expenses and save in the UK. If you want to live like a queen, your account will live like a slave. That's basically it. So when you're able to do this, as time goes by, you're able to save some money that you used to pay as rent. You are able to save these monies gradually into your account, and when they start piling up, you can now use them for different kind of investment. Got it? Now let's move to the next one. I want you to truly forget about H&M and every other clothing store in the UK if you're really serious about cutting expenses and saving. When I newly arrived, I wanted to prove myself. So, you know, I had some clothing I brought from Nigeria, but I felt they were below standards. Meanwhile, I knew I could have kept those clothing for a while, but I just wanted to feel the UK, wear different type of fashionable clothing just to show that I have arrived and to prove a point. But as time went by, when I started buying these clothes, I discovered that I didn't even have time to wear them, not to talk of, buying more. Imagine having expensive clothings, like from H&M and all. I don't want to name them because they are not paying for any form of advert. But you are not able to wear them. I could remember vividly last year. So I bought an expensive shoe for my birthday, just to celebrate. I work so hard, try to please everyone, making sure my family is okay. And, I just feel like this is the only way I can appreciate myself. I mean, if I don't buy it for myself, I know my wife will buy it for me, but if I don't, who will? Lo and behold, since that time I bought the shoe till now that I'm creating this video, that you're watching this video, I have only worn the shoe thrice. Why? This is because I spend over 80% of my time going to work, and I can't afford to wear my designer shoes to work. For those of us that know how this runs, you wear work shoes to work and wear your designer shoes for outing. But where is the time for outing? So therefore, I cut down on my expenses on designer clothes, designer shoes, bought charity clothing that are very good. And when I mean very good, I mean their quality. Some of them are even designers, but they are very cheap. Bought them both for work and for little outings, not very important outings, but just for little outings. And that has really gone a long way in saving enough money for me. Three, you should consider shopping at wholesale shops. Earlier, when I came to London, I would, be a bit lazy to go to shops like Aldi, go to shops like Iceland and the likes to do my overall shopping. So what I do is, anytime I remember I don't have sugar, I go to the off license shop right down on the ground floor of our building to buy it. Then after some time, I noticed that the expenses I spend on groceries was increasing. My wife was like, it looks like we are spending too much. Today we buy bread downstairs, the next day we buy milk, the next day we buy soap. Then she thought of it that, I mean, there are different wholesale shops or wholesale, yeah, we'll call them shops, I'll call them shops. Different wholesale shops. We could write down a list of what we want, go get these things at cheaper rate, and they could also last us for a long time. That was how we started wholesale shopping. This has gone a long way for us in being able to save money numerous times. So you should consider this as well. Four, you need to buy a real card. If you're someone that lives in the UK and you don't have a car and you take the train almost every day, you need to get a real card. Imagine, for example, a journey that will cost you almost £10, and because you have a real card, you're paying £6. Imagine a journey that will cost you about £60, but because you have a real card, you're paying 40 or sometimes even £35. This is what a real card will do. So I'm not going to tell you which one to pick when you go to the website or you're using the app, but make sure you get a real card, as this will save you lots and lots of money and help you cut expenses. Five, eat home cooked food. when I get to work and it is break time, I see many of my colleagues bringing out food bought from many of these, shops, these packed sandwiches and different foods like that. And this food, meanwhile, they are not cheap. Even if you're buying them 99 pence, calculate 99 pence times 20 days. All these things are expenses. Do you know that if you're, you know, doing an home cooked food, you might not even spend even 20 or 30% of that money you spend on buying food. Aside that, home cooked food are healthy food because you made it yourself and you are sure of where it is coming from. So the best way you can save again is to make sure you do your food from home. I mean, if you're African, go to African stores, buy your food stuff at wholesale, a bag of rice, a bag of beans, you know, yam flour, yam. I mean, buy them at wholesale. If you even have space in your apartment, there's a way you can arrange them to make sure that they don't, get spoiled. I mean, the weather condition is perfect here, so that also makes things easier in, giving your food stuff a longer lifespan. So why not do this and try this? All right, if this video has been helpful, subscribe, comment also, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.